I would say if it's a pain point for you, is it a pain point for somebody else? So really important, like look at your product market fit. See if there's an audience out there, number one, because I think I've come across other entrepreneurs and they're very excited about their idea. It's like, but are other people excited about this idea? Is this really filling a gap that needs to be filled? And what is the market size for this? Uh, Nationally, globally, more important.
Welcome to High Agency, igniting conversations with inspiring people, leading transformative change.
Welcome to High Agency at Web Summit, where we're talking to founders, builders, and thinkers. I'm Mo Dhaliwal, and I'm here with Guita Yazdani, who is co-founder and CEO of Campertunity. So Guita, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you started a really interesting company because once we discovered who you are and what you do, it seems so apparent. And I'm just going to tell my camping story first, if that's okay. Every summer, we have a WhatsApp group with a bunch of dudes in it, and they all have families and busy schedules and whatnot. And at some point, there's like a panic, and people will be waking up at like 6 a.m. trying to log into a website, which seems very like 1995. And the website in some years would crash or have timeouts, and they would be desperately trying to punch details into a form and hit submit and then pray, right? And this has been an annual occurrence for a number of years. And there's been years when we've got the camps that we wanted, years that we don't. And I can tell you this year that there was 2 attempts that we ultimately were not going this year because we couldn't find a time in our schedules or couldn't actually book the site that we wanted. And so my understanding is that Campertunity is actually a booking platform that's allowing people to find spaces for their camping excursions. But you're working with private land, is that right?
Yeah, it's private campsites, private land. Yeah. So your pain is exactly what millions of people out there are feeling. And the fact that you said that you might not even bother going camping actually saddens me because the outdoors should be easily accessible to everyone.
Well, we're also exceedingly lazy though. So we tried and it didn't work. We're like, oh, well.
But that process of going to the website, it's crashing. There aren't filters. And you're right. These websites, government parks and everything dated back to what year it was when Atari came out, basically. It shouldn't be that hard, really. So that is how Campertunity was born. Like, I've gone through the same process. I've camped on private property. I've camped on provincial parks. And nature is beautiful no matter where you go. But really, it should be that connection with nature that should be happening. And again, it should be easily accessible to everyone. So Campertunity, yeah, it's this web platform that connects campers to private landowners all across the world. And it's that user-friendly experience where you don't have to sweat it. You don't have to book a camping trip in July, in February. You can just go and say, you know what, next weekend I want to go camping. I'm at this beautiful website. I type in where I want to go. I use the filters to filter exactly what I'm looking for. Search, browse, and book, and you're ready to go.
So, I mean, in hindsight, it seems so obvious. But like, we would use the provincial websites and various other places and then just complain and give up and carry on. Did you have experience with startups? Like, what was it that, caused you to feel the pain, but then be able to do something about it so quickly and dramatically?
I think it was my passion for it. So there was this one summer that I did go camping. It was a weekend, and it happened to be just outside of Whistler, BC. It was a beautiful space. You had a lake on one side, a mountain on the other side. And I thought, well, like, it was a camping event, so I didn't actually organize it myself. But I did realize, oh, this is private land because the landowner had a house there, but it was a big, beautiful open space all to us. And then a few weeks later, I went camping with my co-founder, and it was a much different experience. We went to a provincial park, and again, although it was beautiful, your other families and people are camping a few feet away from you. 5 a.m. in the morning, the RVs are going by, kicking up dust, and I'm coming out of my tent in my pajamas, and everyone can see this, and it was just a much different experience. And then seeing the pain that people are going through trying to get outdoors. I mean, Canada is the second largest country in the world. 11% of Canada is privately owned out of the size of British Columbia. Why is it this hard to get outside? And the trend in camping is increasing. Whether you're a glamper, whether you're a veteran camper, getting outdoors is something that people across the world come to Canada for.
Yeah, and that's very much a part of our brand. Like, you ask anybody in Europe, other parts of Asia, they all assume that we're 5 minutes from a forest or just like living next to some rocky waterfall, right? Like, that's That's the image.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of infuriating not being able to connect with nature the way you want to. So you felt the pain, and
And a light bulb went off. It's like, and so I did a little research. Nobody else is doing this in Canada, so we were the first movers in this country. We've had traction since day one, growing, 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 expanded outside of Canada eventually. Have a great contract with the U.S. government, onboarded 200,000 campsites, and continuing to grow.
incredible. Yeah, I was reading about the trajectory, and it was like you guys did 19 sites in your first year, and you're at 100,000 now.
We're on almost 200,000. Yes, across
Okay.
about 20 countries.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Wow. And did you have experience in tech and startups before, or
I had some experience in business before, in tech specifically, not so much. But when you're building something that you really believe in, I think you're following your heart, as cheesy as that sounds, more than anything else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you figure it out because you've got a goal in mind.
You figure out there's so many surprises as an entrepreneur, right? Like they say, you got to wear all these different hats, and so you just learn what you need to learn as you go. You do what you need to do in order to grow that business.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I mean, one of my favorite quotes is that there's no real prescriptions. So as much as it's interesting hearing stories from others, you've got to do it on your own. You've got to connect with it and figure out what your journey is going to be. Um, but there's also like a real interesting sort of wellness and mental health message within this as well, because as we're discovering, as we've actually known, I guess for a number of years, but awareness is increasing, is that there's some number of doctors that are actually like offering prescriptions for camping, right? Prescriptions for going for walks and like spending time in nature, because our biology, you know, um, the brain waves in our bodies, like everything changes when we're in the trees and when we're kind of bathing in nature in that way. So the wellness component of your messaging actually I found really impactful as well. But you seem to have had a focus on impact kind of throughout, because you're also working with women entrepreneurs. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. Well, I work with a collective of BIPOC female founders. We want to kind of elevate the BIPOC female founder community, get more eyes on us because, less than 2% of funding goes to female founders, and even less than that goes to BIPOC female founders. But yeah, the mental health aspect. I mean, Campertunity, when we started it, it was campers making it easy for campers to go camping. And throughout the journey, we just saw these really cool ripple effects. And one of them is, yeah, your mental and physical health. Like you said, it's proven that you get into nature, it just rejuvenates you. It cures anxiety and depression. And that reconnection really can do so much for other ailments that we have. So not only getting into nature easily, but having that real connection, the nice, quiet space for you to connect.
So what's next for Campertunity? Like, how's the growth going? Is there some new feature? Is there something new that you're building that you're excited about?
Oh, thank you for that question. Actually, I'm very excited about something. Just last week, we released this feature where the AI bots, so implementing AI in a manner where AI bots can easily read our coding in our website. So if someone goes to ChatGPT, they type in, I want to go camping, near a lake on this weekend with my dog. Those AI bots can easily go to Campertunity and read it and give us dibs on those results. So it's, I guess, kind of like a custom ChatGPT. My CTO will explain it a lot better, but that's giving Campertunity the opportunity to rank higher. Because with AI and ChatGPT, going directly to a website might be a little bit obsolete. Like I'm even doing it now, where I'll just go to ChatGPT and type something in and get it to do the work of searching the internet for me. So Campertunity will rank high as those AI bots go and do their search for the internet.
Yeah.
So we're the first ones to do this. I mean, the advantage of being a startup, of being a smaller team, is that we're fearless.
Yeah.
Yeah, we move fast and we're fearless, and we got this great product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have any competitors popped up in this time? Because again, you're pointing at such a specific and real pain that so many people have felt. So is there like an industry? Is there a category that's forming here?
There's always competition. I won't deny that. But Campertunity, we're always moving forward in our innovation. So if a competitor comes up, we might tweak something, pivot something a little bit to add this extra feature. Funny enough, I do see that our competitors a year later are also adding the same feature. So we're ahead of the game. We're doing something right, and we will remain unique in what we're doing.
What have you learned so far about yourself, being a leader, being an entrepreneur? I'm assuming for the first time.
Yeah, and in this realm, in the tech realm, for the first time, I'm I'm actually pleasantly surprised with my hustle, if I may say that. Like, I like the big vision. I do love networking. I love meeting people like you, sitting down and telling my story. And it's just been really wonderful seeing the entrepreneurial community. They're so supportive and friendly. I can go up to anybody at the Web Summit and just chat with them, and they'll chat back to me. And the support and the mentorship, the organizations, and just this country. I just love Canada so much. I'm just so grateful, I think. And I will always want to give back everything that I've learned. So I welcome other entrepreneurs to approach me too and ask me whatever they want, because it's a hard journey, but it's so fascinating. It's a fascinating one.
Was there anything that you think was unique about being an entrepreneur in Vancouver in this region versus starting anywhere else?
Well, it's hard to say because I haven't started anywhere else, but I appreciate that Vancouver's a very tech-centered city. There's a lot of tech companies around here, and now we have the Web Summit here, so I'm thankful for Vancouver for bringing it here. I think in terms of funding, I would love to see the same opportunities in Canada that there are in the US. I feel like the US just has more people, so there's more money flowing.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see that kind of funding in this country as well for a little bit easily. Yeah, I'm so cut with thing there.
Yeah, and there's a different culture, I think, around funding and how it works there as well. Like when things boom, nothing booms as big as it does in the US. And when things bust, nothing busts as hard as the US does.
That's true.
And, our peaks and valleys aren't as extreme. So there's a bit of a cultural difference there as well. But one of the reasons I was asking that was because, just in the last couple of days, one thing that's been really apparent to me with Web Summit Vancouver is that I think in this city, in this town, there's a ton of talent, there's cool things happening. But I do feel like our eyes are always kind of like pointed outwards from this place. Like we're looking out into the world, we're looking out into other places. And so we tend to have a real awareness of like what's happening with the rest of Canada, what's happening across North America. And in attending this conference, I feel like we've also been kind of knitting together the Vancouver Connects a lot more. Because I was like so shocked at the number of people that we were like, reaching out to or connecting with. And these are Vancouver companies. And we're just looking at them like, holy shit, like that's here, right? At Campertunity, right?
Right under your nose.
Right under our nose, absolutely. As we're struggling with government websites. So, in that regard, I feel like it's been a really refreshing conference. And I think Vancouver needed that to knit together some of our own connective tissue. And yeah, I mean, hopefully long after the conference, we continue to maintain some of those connections and then look forward to what we're going to do next. If you were to kind of look at Campertunity as like a fully realized company, like your vision for what you want to do, let's say it's totally built out. What does the company look like, and what sort of change have you guys created in the world?
Yeah, I think it's important for me that Campertunity is authentic. It always grows authentically. It continues to build that community. It continues to employ Canadians and to keep to our Canadian values, being polite, transparent, providing our clients, the campers and hosts, what they need, high customer service, using AI, but not in a manner for that customer service, always having that genuine one-on-one. I want Campertunity to be the go-to place for all camping needs. So yeah, you can book a campsite, but you can also book camping experiences, camping supplies, like firewood, for example. And so we just want it to be, yeah, like I'm going camping, it's Campertunity. Like they're synonymous, those two words together. So all across the world, the biggest campsite booking platform that exists. It's a large company, large website, but with that personal feel to it.
I'm just, as you said that, I was just thinking of other names that are kind of synonymous with camping. Out here, it's like, MEC, the States it might be REI. Are there any other like partnerships or any other collaborations like that you guys have been looking at from a brand level?
Yeah, definitely. We have really strong partnerships, actually. All with foreign organizations as well, like foreign companies, but also with like the BC Camping and RV Coalition is on there. So great partnership with them, which actually does include BC Parks and Parks Canada. Go North RVing, Destination BC our partnerships. But we're also looking to expand. So I do encourage any companies out there, large name companies that do want to partner with us, like please feel free to do so. We should be supporting each other, especially in these times, to help us grow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of market? I mean, available in North America alone, but you mentioned that, yeah, you guys have expanded to other countries.
Yes, yeah. So last time I checked, it's about 20 countries.
There's a dashboard somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a somewhere. Yeah, so the UK, for example, France, I believe we're in Australia now, definitely the US. Canada was our very first, of course, and just growing from there.
Was there a market that you moved into, or was there anything surprising in any of these markets?
Well, we just moved into the markets earlier this year, so it's a bit too soon to tell.
Yeah.
But the common theme, and maybe surprising, not surprising, is people want to get outdoors. So there's a demand, and it's everywhere.
So when you actually, let's go right back to the early days for a second here, and actually get into the weeds a little bit. So you had the idea. What was the next move? Like, how did you build a team?
Oh, my team. So I went to my co-founder, Nora, and I said, hey, I have this idea. What do you think? And it was a very easy, yeah, let's do this. So it's just a matter of, okay, we had the idea. I had the passion. We did the market research, some validation, trying to find a little bit of product market fit. And then we just hit the ground running. I think it's a risk with any business getting it started. Is this going to succeed? Is it not going to succeed? So I can just give some advice, maybe some other entrepreneurs. You're starting a tech company. Somebody on your team has to be tech. And so the first few years on Campertunity, I'm not tech, and neither is my co-founder. So it was an expensive process. So at the very beginning was one of the first things we did. We had to find a developer. And so finding someone to build that site, and it's basically like building Airbnb. It's very complex. There's the front end, but there's also a very complex back end that's doing messaging system, calendar system, the payouts, everything from promo codes to all the user accounts. It's a lot of work. So that getting that built was one of the first steps there. And then when it was ready to go, it was just hitting that launch button, and then boom. And when that happened, even before that launch happened, the media caught on like fire. So it's been almost 100 interviews since then. It's going up and up and up. So that was kind of one of the first things with Campertunity was the PR and getting that website done.
The PR doesn't surprise me though, because I mean, like, no discredit to you, like you guys built a beautiful platform, but I think it's also a bit of a testament to like how shitty the government websites are, right?
That works in our favor.
Yeah.
The shittier the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it works to how much of a pain point it is. This is something people want to know and hear about. Yeah.
What were the early challenges? Because I mean, I was feeling a little bit of like angst just in my stomach on your behalf, as you were like, oh, we had to go find your first developer, your first like tech leader, and that's make or break in a lot of situations, right? Because it can be wildly expensive.
Yeah.
You could land on the right sort of 10x architect that is just kind of like banging it out on evenings and weekends. But what were the biggest challenges you guys faced during that time?
It was one of the biggest was definitely not having developers. So when we brought our CTO on our team, it was like night and day. So that was a huge challenge. I think the other huge challenge was marketing your business. Like not knowing how to market, I actually went to school and got my certification on marketing because I need to know how to do this. And reaching out to other entrepreneurs, learning how to do media pitches, for example, and just how to reach out to partnerships. So marketing Campertunity was an issue, trying to get people onto the platform to use it. So even though we had traction from the beginning, I want more traction, more. Even today, that's the focus. I want more traction. I need to grow this. So that was definitely a challenge. And of course, when you're bootstrapping your company, like that's costly too. And that could be a challenge too. So after we had our first raise, it kind of calmed us down a little bit. And, we're continuing with our raises, but Campertunity is able to sustain itself. We were profitable last summer.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to do it again this summer and just continuing to grow. So it's knowing how to do every task that comes your way.
What do you feel like was the biggest win, like after you kind of gotten over the initial hurdle and you started to pick up some of that media and PR? What really felt like, okay, this is a real thing and we're going to be doing this for a while?
Yeah, I think a big win for me is the feedback that I get from my clients. That it may seem small, but when you get a box of homemade granola bars in your mail from someone who's so thankful to you, that's my win.
Yeah.
And that will fuel the next milestone and the next milestone. So I can mention, yeah, okay, we did a 250K raise. Okay, we did a raise here. We relaunched the website in around 2023, made it super beautiful and gorgeous. Okay, well, that's another milestone. Oh, by the way, we went global. We went into 20 countries. Oh, by the way, we added AI in this matter for the coding. That's fantastic. But, along those ways, those big milestones for me are actually those kind of little ones that push you to those big ones.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So having been through it now and having learned what you have, what advice would you give anybody else that sees a pain point and wants to go build a company to solve it?
I would say if it's a pain point for you, is it a pain point for somebody else? So really important, look at your product market fit. See if there's an audience out there, number one, because I think I've come across other entrepreneurs and they're very excited about their idea. It's like, but are other people excited about this idea? Is this really filling a gap that needs to be filled? And what is the market size for this? Nationally, globally, more important. So I would say that, and I would say there's a lot of things that are going to come your way. You're going to really like some of it, and you're going to really hate some of it. So be prepared for that, and just always find a way to motivate yourself and find that balance between work life. Yeah.
Do you feel like you found that balance?
Yeah, I think so. I have fun.
Yeah.
I have fun. I'm having fun right now.
Great.
So, yeah, I think I have that balance.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Guita. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've got lots of people to meet, lots of people to talk to, but yeah, really appreciate it and best of luck with everything. I'm going to post the link to Campertunity in multiple WhatsApp groups as soon as we finish here.
Nice.
And looking forward to using it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much. I appreciate your support.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully we've given you a lot to think about. That was High Agency. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.